We're with Kate Wells, Lisa Ann's attorney, and you just came out of the hearing with Judge Black. What evidence did Judge Black base his ruling on of abuse or neglect on the part of Lisa Ann with her daughter Star?
There was no evidence of abuse or neglect, and I specifically asked him as he made his ruling if he would please make any kind of a finding that there had been any abuse whatsoever of this child, and he got up, picked up his papers, and turned his back to me and walked out of the courtroom. There was no evidence of any kind of abuse, and in fact, the court that should be hearing this case, or the court that heard this case, which is Sutter County Court, dismissed this petition against Lisa Ann and reunited her with her daughter. They are in a position to know better than the courts here. No incident has happened since that incident. There is nothing that they have literally kidnapped this baby. They have snatched a 4-month-old baby from her mother's arms, based on objections to her lifestyle, and only objections to her lifestyle. The state has decided that they know better how to raise children than the parent, obviously, and whether they want us to be a little automatons all walking around to the same little beat and doing the same things. This is the most outrageous case I've ever seen, and I'm frightened. I'm frightened for Lisa Ann, and I'm also frightened for all of us, for all parents, for all of us who care about our freedom, and who care about our ability to lead our lives without the government sticking their nose in our business where it doesn't belong.
Yeah, we count on these courts and authorities and lawyers. They're specifically designed, and their purpose is to protect the children, and yet we have these sorts of cases where.
Well, as far as I can see, what's happened to the system is that obviously everyone hates child abuse, so they pick on this area and they say, well, let's give the Child Protective Services unlimited power to intervene in these cases. And as a result of that unlimited power that they have, basically the power to say you're guilty until proven innocent, has turned many of these CPS workers into gods who have ultimate power and control over these people's lives. This is not the first case I've seen. This is the most blatant case I've seen, but it happens every day. I would be willing to guess that it's happening in every county in the state. The fact that there was a good worker in Sutter County who did return Star to her mother shows that it's maybe not the system, but the people in the system that are causing the problems. But I'm not sure if it's not endemic to the system as well.
I spoke to Commissioner Cloud earlier today, and she said that in 1989 there was a major rule change in how CPS handles court cases or something. Are you aware of any legislative changes that happened in '89 that have affected these cases?
No, I'm not aware of any, but all I know is that they have used this pretext of confidentiality to run the entire railroading in this case, and in probably many other cases, to do it behind closed doors. No jury trial is allowed, and no outsider is allowed in the courtroom. Now, I believe in the privilege of confidentiality for the parent, if in fact the parent wants the confidentiality. But to me, that is a personal decision on the part of the parent, and it shouldn't be a statutory thing that they are not allowed to have the public there to see what's happening. And I think that this is just another way that the system has enabled them to do what they have done, what they've done in this case.
Now you asked to tape record the proceedings?
We asked to tape record the proceedings, and we were denied the right to tape record, and the reason for the denial was ostensibly that there was a court reporter there, and we could get a transcript of the process. Of course, see, I'm even leery of the court. I have had many transcripts come from trials that don't even resemble what really went on in court. So I'm even suspicious of that. But I would hate to see what Melissa Berenger or Kathleen Taylor might have to say about me for being probably paranoid, delusional, and all of the other things that she's called Lisa Ann, and she's called these things. She said these things about her because she scored perfect scores on her math and block tests, which make her obviously psychotic and paranoidly over alert. That was her
Assessment.
her conclusion from the fact that she scored well on the test. In fact, I asked Judge Black, I said, well, I suppose, because he put a lot of weight on these tests, and so I asked Judge Black, I said, well, is it true that if she had scored poorly on these exams that she would have come out better? And he says, well, no, this isn't a pass-fail thing. Yeah. So he said, well, it's clear that from the final result that they said she's not psychotic. So there's nothing wrong with the report. Now another judge.
Well, I guess that's good. They're not going to incarcerate Lisa Ann forever.
Well, I wouldn't draw any conclusions there. I'd never draw any conclusions there. I've forgotten what else I was going to say. I'm very upset about what happened today, and I'm not sure what my next step is, because this is not something I do on a regular basis. I'm normally suing the government after this happens, and after we've had a good result. So what the next step is, I'm not sure. There has to be some appeal process, and you can bet that we're going to do it.
Maybe a judicial review board?
Well, I would imagine it's probably an issue where we go up to the 6th Appellate District, which we sit with probably a group of 3 good old boys who are friends with Judge Black, and we have almost as little chance as we had here of really being successful. I think that the system is right here. I would like to know how many times they have not sustained the allegations in a petition, and not gone along with Child Protective Services. I would be willing to bet it's almost never. And it would be something that would be very interesting for you guys to find out if, in fact, they have ever gone against CPS's recommendation.
Thank you very much, Kate Wells.